Hello friends, I am back with a project update video again today, and as always I've got quite a bit to share. And today is actually a very special episode because I just hit my 1-year anniversary at YouTube. So yeah, let's just jump right in. Thanks so much for joining me today. If you're new here and if you don't know me, I'm Honey and this is the Honey Wool Wonders knitting channel, which just turned 1 year old this month. It's crazy, guys. I cannot believe it's been a full year that I'm doing this. I think it was back in October 2024 that I shared my first video, and it's been a full year. And honestly, I wouldn't still be doing this if it weren't because of you guys. Like the fact that you keep coming back to listen to me and hang out with me while I share all my love for knitting and all your lovely comments, your support, all of them, they just mean the world to me. And I'm truly and really grateful for every single one of you. And I just don't know what to say. So thank you so much. And yeah, my channel is 1 year old and I cannot believe it. All right, let's see what we have to share today. I've got 2 finished objects. One is what I'm wearing, and I do have like a semi-finished object as well. It's finished, but I still have to block it. So let's say we've got 3, and I got a few, maybe 1 or 2 whips. It's not a crazy list today. And I've also got something very different today. I've got a sewing project, finished object. Crazy. I'm going to talk about that later as well. So let's just jump right in. Okay, let's start with the very first finished object, and that's my very beautiful Rosie Sweater. So this is a pattern by Lynette. This was released very recently, and I'm pretty sure you guys have seen this because it's all over the socials. And I fell in love with this even before the pattern came out. And if you followed me along, you probably know the story behind this. I was planning on choosing colors for this design, and the design itself is just so beautiful. Like, I don't know, there was something about this rose patterns that just immediately caught my eyes, and I was planning on like choosing colors, and I thought to maybe I can play around with the palette and just add like an extra color to the contrast. So I decided to go green for the leaves and keep the roses in a different color. I did not know what I'm signing up myself for because I struggled. I really struggled with knitting this 3-stranded color work because it's not designed. It's not meant to be a 3-stranded color work. The floats became too long for me for each of these sections because you see like how the roses and the leaves are like, there's a fair bit of distance between each of these motifs. So that meant I had to do a bit of a yarn management. I'll share the yarn that I use quickly. So for the main color I use, first of all, this is a DK weight pattern. So she's using, I think she's using Tin Peer Gint with the mohair. So it gives you like a DK gauge-ish. So I used the Knitting for Olive Merino in the color Wheat, and I paired it with the Bichesetbuches mohair in the color Beige, and they paired really nicely. This was the first time I was trying Bichesetbuches mohair. It's a soft mohair. It's a little bit too hairy, like compared to the Knitting for Olive one, but I really enjoyed it. It's very soft. I don't have any issues wearing it close to skin. And the roses were in this beautiful copper color in Knitting for Olive Merino, and the mohair is in the Dusty Robin color. Also, all the details, as in modifications, the amount of yarn that I use, anything too detailed that I might forget to mention, and you might get bored if I'll just want to share everything, is in my Ravelry project notes. The link to that is in the description, so if you want to check that out, you can always go and see my notes. The leaves, I used the Isager Highland wool, and I held this double. So this wasn't held with the mohair, I held it double, but it did give me a bit of a different gauge than the rest of the fabric. It's a very loosely plied, I think it's 2-plied yarn. 2-plied. Why did that sound weird? This is the color Curry. I use only 1 skein of this, holding it double, so This one I bought two, but this is untouched. But yeah, so I was talking about the yarn management. So I held my base color as, not base, the rose color, which is my dominant color. So it does pop out a bit more Let me come a bit closer. It does pop out a bit more than the rest of the pattern. So that was my dominant color, which I held in my left hand, knitting continental, which is my usual knitting style. And then I held the base color and the leaves in my right hand, English style. So I picked them up as I needed them. I did watch a video on YouTube by Jessica McDonald, I think. I'm gonna link it in the description. That was a really nice video, and it was the one that made the most sense to me, as in my fingers enjoyed that rhythm. I know there's heaps of ways to knit color work, and whatever works best for you, just go with it. Even if that means just like picking one strand at a time, like one color at a time, just do it. It would slow you down. I'm not the fastest when it comes to color work knitting, but who cares? Like, I mean, just do whatever makes sense for you. But this is how I knit it, because I do get questions as in, how did I like manage my yarn? And then for catching my floats, there was another video that I followed that I'll link again, which was showing how you can catch your floats with each color, because depending on which strand became the longest float in the back, you had to catch it in a different way. It was a bit of a struggle, as I said, and if it wasn't because of the love that I had for this motif in two colors, I don't know if I'd manage to finish it. But once I saw the first row of roses just pop up, I was like, that's it. I don't care how hard this is, I'm just gonna do it. And I'm so happy that I did. So it wasn't as bad. So at the beginning, maybe it was a bit fiddly, but I got my head around it after a few, you know, like rounds of like color work knitting, and I love it. I absolutely love it. I got so many compliments. Like this post on Instagram that I shared I think it was like last week, it got so many beautiful comments. So many people reached out to me, asked questions. This is the most precious knit that I made so far. There's something about it that I just absolutely love. There's this like vintage, whimsical feel to it. I don't know. And the color palette, like I couldn't have imagined this any better. Like, you know, sometimes you're like, if I made this change, if I chose this color, it would have been, this is like exactly what I wanted, even better than what I imagined. So it's just perfect. So I knit the second size, but I did mention in my last video that I'm not getting anywhere close for the positive ease that is meant to for the second size. And that's because my gauge just went crazy again. I actually did make a gauge swatch. Like this is my gauge swatch. I know it's just one color, but this gave me the exact same stitch gauge that I was meant to get. I think it's like it's a 21 stitch gauge, and I hit gauge here. But when it came to the actual sweater, I know I did one more colorwork sweater before this, and I had gauge issues there, but apparently I just go super crazy tight when it comes to colorwork knitting. And this is around 25 or even 26. It's way tighter than it's supposed to be. So I knit the second size. This is giving me around 15 centimeters or 16 positive ease, which is not even the first size positive ease that I would get. So I'm way off gauge, but I think I'm happy with the fit. I don't think I would even want this to be any bigger than this, because the shoulders, it's got a very interesting construction. It's both like drop shoulder and set in like contiguous, and then raglan. It is like a bit of everything. I've talked in more details about the construction in my previous videos. If you want to hear more about it, you can check that out. But the construction is interesting in a way, but I don't think if I'd like the raglan increases to sit any further down than what it's sitting now. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's sitting like here now. This is my shoulder. These are the raglan increases. So if I had it a bit bigger, it would be like here. I'm going to put up a photo of her because the one that she's wearing has the increases a bit further down, and I don't know if I do like that look. I think I'm happy with this fit. Like it's still very loose, like I've got room definitely, the sleeves as well. The sleeves didn't have any decreases for my size. It's a different decrease rate for each size, but the second size didn't have any decreases until you finish the last color motif, and then you have a little bit of decreases here, and then you do a 1x1 bind off, ribbing. I always go with the combination knitting for my ribbing, and I would never go back. It gives me the most neat ribbing ever. So that's where you do your pearls clockwise. Yeah. And that gives you a bit of a tighter pearl, and it's very clean. I love it. And Italian bind off. And the fabric is super soft. Like, I've knit with Knitting for Olive before, merino. It's like honestly very soft. Like, I'm wearing like a very short like tank underneath this, so this is like on my skin. It's fine. I've worn it a few times already and nothing, no pilling yet. Guys, I love this so much. This is a very random thought that I have. I don't know if you've seen the movie Matilda. It's a very old classic. It's like in the 90s. And there was this character in the movie, Miss Honey. She was my childhood crush.
But Matilda's teacher, Miss Honey, was one of those remarkable people who appreciates every single child for who she or he is.
I think I was obsessed with this movie. I think I've watched it like twice or 3 times a week at least. And so yeah, there is like this teacher in the movie. She was called Miss Honey, and she was so lovely. She was so cute. I mean, yeah, she was my crush. And I don't know why this gives me like Miss Honey vibes. Like, if she was a real person, I would gift this to her for sure. Like, she would be so cute in this sweater. I don't know, this is so crazy, but I just keep picturing her wearing this, and it just suits her character so much. Okay, I think that's enough of the Rosie sweater. But again, if you've got any more questions, as in if there was something that I didn't mention that you want to know more about, you can message me, you can put a comment, reach out to me on Instagram. I'm happy to help. So now let's go to my second finished object, and that is my very happy Olga sweater by Petiteknit. Guys, this turned out so fun. Like, this color combination is such a happy color. I love it. I did say last time that I might hate this, but no, I love it. I love it so much. This was a very unexpected color combination that I chose for this, but if you missed my last video, this green color, the yarn, was used in an ivy blouse that I was knitting, holding it by itself, and I didn't like the fabric, so I decided to frog it and use the yarn for an Olga sweater. So I'm holding that green one double here, and it gives me the most beautiful stitch definition that I could get. So this is the green yarn that I'm using. I've got this much left. This is almost a full bowl. So I had 5 bowls of this. I used 4.5 maybe held double. This is the Chaska Puray light DK yarn. It's a mix of wool and mohair. That's why it's super fuzzy, but it's such a beautiful squishy yarn, guys. I love it, and I fell in love with this color. I think this is in the color 6, and I held it with, I only have this much left, but this is the Kremke Soul Baby Alpaca wool. It's 100% alpaca wool. It's a DK weight, and I held this by itself. This is such a beautiful color. It's brown, but there's red in it, there's green in it, and it's super soft. So that's the green that I'm getting here. They paired really nicely together. I've already worn this a lot. Like, during the week when I work from home, I'm living in this Olga. It's such a cozy sweater. I love the drape and the heaviness of this. I've got another version of this Olga that I knit last year. That one's a red one, but it's a very different fabric. That one's more lightweight. It's not as warm and heavy as this one. So I'm glad that this gave me a very different feel. So they're not similar exactly. And I love the construction of this pattern. And that's the only reason that I knit another one. It's a very standard drop shoulder construction with very beautiful short rows in the back to shape the neck. And it has a folded 1x1 neck. Yeah, it's like honestly nothing really special about the construction. It's a very standard petite knit drop shoulder design. I wasn't too sure about this color initially. I thought it's not going to pair well, but I think it's really beautiful. This is, again, gives me a bit of a retro vibe as well, in a good way. But yeah, I've been wearing this a lot. There's no pilling at all so far, so I'm happy about that. Okay. So that was my very happy, I'm calling it my happy Olga actually, because every time I wear it, it just makes me so happy. The colors are just so bright and fun. Okay, so what else do we have? Okay, let me share my semi-finished object that I shared that needs its final blocking, and that is a very beautiful test knit that I recently did. This is the Petali Slipover by Marie-Éve. I hope I'm saying her name right, but she's also known as Inherskein. She's got a YouTube channel, which I love her videos, and this is actually how I knew about this pattern. So I was following along throughout her design journey, and the moment I saw this slipover, I was like, sold immediately. Isn't this the cutest design, guys? Like, look at that scallop edge all along this slipover. It's so cute. This is very close to her actual color that she chose. The pattern is a DK weight pattern. She's using, I think, a Rosa Pommard yarn called Brusca, which is 100% wool. And I found this yarn. This is the Bichesetbuches Lambswool. They have this space in fingering weight, DK weight, and also I think Aran weight. This is the DK weight. I don't have a full skein. This is what's left. But it's this very beautiful red-brown color with the like specks of red, blue. It's such a beautiful yarn. It's a bit pricey, but since this one didn't need that much of like yardage, I was able to, you know, like justify myself to buy this. And this is already a DK, but I held it with a mohair because I didn't like the fabric as much. I mean, I love mohair. I can't really say that I needed it, but I just liked the fabric a bit better. Let me show you my gauge swatch. So this is, I knit this on a 4.5 and then 4mm. This gave me gauge. But for some reason, I loosened up way more when I was knitting this. So after I blocked it, I got a bit of a longer length. So this pattern, let me talk about the construction because it's a very interesting one, which I've never tried before. Well, there's actually two versions that you can get out of this. There's like a cropped version, which is what I knit. This is the size 2 that I tested. There's like a regular length, which is a bit longer. I'm actually getting the regular length here because my gauge changed after I blocked it. And then the armholes as well. These also come in 2 different lengths. This is the deep one, which you get a bit of like a deeper armhole. There's a regular one, which comes a bit further up. You basically cast on with the shoulder section. So you cast on from here till the back. So you've got like a very long cast on, and then you start these beautiful scalloped edges on a bit of a smaller needle, so 3.5 I think, and then it's knit horizontally. You see how the fabrics, like the knit stitches, are the other way around. This was the first time I was doing this. So you basically create the shoulder slope with a few increases here. And then once you finish the slope, you separate the back, you knit the front, you create the neck with some increases and decreases. And then once you reach to the second shoulder, you put the front stitches on hold, you knit the back, and then you join the front and back again. You shape the second shoulder slope, and then you bind off with the scalloped edge again. Once you finish the front and back, you do the underarms. Very easy pattern. Even though this was like a stockinette pattern, I honestly couldn't put it down. Like, I think I finished this in 1 week. Yeah, even less, because I had to do a mid-project block, and that it took maybe 1 or 2 days for it to dry. So not even a full week, because I constantly wanted to see what's next in the pattern. So it was very engaging in a good way. It's so beautiful. I love this. This is very much my style. She's wearing it with a very beautiful like lace shirt. Oh, it's so pretty. I think I want to get a similar, you know, like style to this. Like I'm thinking of a very similar, I do have a shirt that's very similar to that. I think it looks very cute on dresses as well. It would look better on a dress if this was a bit more cropped. So I don't know, I have to try it on a dress and see how it looks. But I love the yarn. You know how the yarn you chose, the pattern and the final design, they all just hit the right notes? This was exactly that. Like I was having so much fun knitting this that I couldn't just put it down. This was the first time I was knitting something from her, and guys, the pattern was so amazingly written, like very clear. She's got a step-by-step tutorial as well. I love it like when the designer, they don't just assume that you know how to do things, you know, they give you enough details, and I love that. And since the construction's very unique, there were like so many schematics in the pattern that told you what you need to do, as in where exactly you need to attach your yarn, where you need to do the measurement. It was amazing. So I had so much fun, really, honestly, knitting this. And I think I want to knit another one because this was finished so quickly, and we're hitting spring here, so it's going to be a bit warm very soon. So I want a summer version. She's also knit one in a summery yarn as well, and that one looks so cute too. So I'm thinking of maybe knitting one in a summery yarn with like a regular armhole so I can just wear it by itself. And I think I can have it in a week and just get it ready for like summer. I think I'm gonna do that, honestly, because it's very, very much my style and I love it. So as I said, I still need to block this. I did one mid-project block for the body, but the armholes and the finishing, like the hem, they all need like an actual final block, and I need to take some cute photos with this. And yeah, I can't wait to share how it looks once I style it and have it all blocked. I don't know if the color suits me. I think it does. I love this color. This is like a rust color. Guys, I think I'm in love with this scalloped edge. Now I think I want to add it to all my pieces. It's so cute. And the way it's knit, it's very interesting. You do it with some yarn over and knit together, and then you fold it and it creates this beautiful like squishy bumps. It was a very fun knit, very fun. And I'm so happy. Okay, that was all my knitted finished objects. And I did say that I have a sewing one today, which is crazy, but let me show you. Guys, I made this bag. I cannot believe it. Okay, you probably have heard about this company before. So this is the Babylon Leather Company. They have this DIY kit for bags. They've got so many different designs. I think the first time that I actually knew about them was through Inga from Knitting Traditions. She was making like a tote bag. It was so nice, and I immediately thought, okay, wow, these are like very good for project bags for my knits, because I don't have any project bags. They're all like in this very like funky dust bags that I collect from my clothes or bags or whatever. They do the job. I'm not like too fussed about project bags, to be honest. But I thought these are so cute, and the fact that you can make them, that was honestly what got me excited. And they reached out to me, which was crazy. They said if I want to test out one of their kits, and I was like, yes. So I chose this one. This is called the Small Hammock Bag, I think. It's very interesting in terms of like construction, because you see how there's like a thing in there that you can actually open, and the bag just completely opens up. Okay, so you've got this big, huge bag that I can fit my knits inside with all the yarn and knit from inside this. So whenever I go, you know, like outside, these are very wobbly. You know, I can't keep my knits in here and knit from when the yarn is still in this. I need to pull out everything. But this is going to be really handy, so I can leave my yarn in there and then just knit. You know, I've got a project bag that I've made myself in leather. It's crazy. And also I was thinking it's great for color work as well. So if I've got 2 colors, I can put one in each side so they won't get tangled, and I can pull from inside. Let me close it again. So this is how it looks closed. It's very like tiny. And then you can open it up and have it like expanded to have all your projects in. So the kit comes in all the they're all like pre-cut pieces. It has all the tools that you need, like scissors, threads, anything really that requires. And it's a very lovely quality as well. I don't know if you can see, but it's really nice leather. Guys, I've done all those stitches myself. This is crazy. It wasn't too easy for me because I've never done leather work before, but the step-by-step tutorial just made it honestly like so easy to follow. They've got so many styles on their website. I had so much trouble choosing this one, but yeah, this one hit the purpose for me because I was planning to use it as my knitting project bag. But they've got so many different types, and they very kindly gave me a discount code that you can use to get 10% discount if you're keen. I think they already have like a 20% discount on their website, so that gives you an additional 10. And this is an affiliate link. So if you purchase through the link that I'm going to share in the description, I'm going to get a small portion of your purchase as well. Yeah, if you're into DIY knitting, not knitting, DIY, any sort. This is a fun one. They were really lovely to work with, honestly, very supportive. I'm so glad and happy with my experience working with them. All right, now let's get on to my work in progress. I have 2 actually, so we're not going to be here for too long. But let me start with my very fun color work. This one is the, oh, I love the color. This is the Moinear Sweater by Ailbíona. This was a new to me designer. This came out of my knitting video that I was planning my next color work project. So the Rosie Sweater was the first one, and this came out as a second one. And guys, this is such a cute design. This is knit up on a 5mm needle, so it's a bit of a bigger gauge than all my other knits, so it went by so quick. As you can see, I've already finished the body. This was only like a gauge swatch in my previous video, and I haven't even spent that much time on it because I had the Rosie, this took my main focus, then I had the Chestnut and my Olga, so this was like just, you know, like in between all of those, and it's almost finished because it's a bigger gauge. So 5mm needle, and it's a round yoke sweater. It's knit up on a worsted or Aran weight yarn. I am using Knitting for Olive heavy merino. I don't have a full skein here, but this is the base color. This is dark mousse. I'm holding with the Knitting for Olive mohair in color dark mousse as well. This is the fabric that it's giving me for the main color. It's gorgeous dark brown. And for the color section, I'm holding the heavy merino in the color Dove Blue with the mohair in the color Dusty Dove Blue. And it gives this gorgeous blue. And I think they pair really well. So yeah, this one, I knit the 3rd size. So I've learned my lessons from all the gauge issues that I had with my color work knits. So this time I knit a size bigger than my usual size, and I'm so happy that I did that because this is again giving me the 2nd size positive ease. So I was right. So construction, you start with casting on the neck. I cast on like just long tail cast on, and I use the 3.75mm needle for the neck. It's this 2x1 knitting, like rib with 2 colors, which was very interesting, first time doing that. And then once you finish the rib section, you start the yoke. I changed to 5.5mm for the yoke, and then I switch back to 5mm for the body. And I'm getting the best gauge possible in a color work. This is my neatest color work knitting because it's a chunkier yarn and it's easier for me to manage the tension. It's a bit cinched in now because obviously I haven't blocked it, and the ribbing for the hem goes down to 3.5, which is a big jump. I usually go down like 1 needle size the most, but this was like 3.5, so I thought, okay, that might make it a bit cinched in, but it's fine. I know I'm gonna block it out to even it out, so it shouldn't be an issue. But I love the tension, the ribbing tension. Since it was on a smaller needle, it just even made it like neater than usual. Now I'm on the sleeves. The sleeves separation was a bit interesting. So the round yoke is like any other round yoke. You keep adding increases throughout the yoke to add to the depth. And then once you separate for the sleeves, she has you to keep the underarm new cast on stitches on a provisional cast on. So you have them as live stitches and then you join them with the arm stitches when you do the sleeves, which is interesting. I think it helps with, you know, like how you get holes underneath when you start the sleeves. I didn't do that, honestly. I just did like a normal cast on and then I picked up stitches when I came to the sleeves. So the floats weren't too bad. I think there were like only a few sections that I had to catch my floats every 4 or 5 stitches. This pattern is so amazingly well written. Again, first time knitting something from her. She's got 2 charts for the colorwork section. One if you choose to go with the dark base color and one if you choose to go with the light base color. And I think that was like so thoughtful of someone to do, you know, like very clear, amazing. I loved it. Oh, I love this so much. I ended up having it a bit more cropped because I think I like this. I don't know, there's something about the sweater that I think I would enjoy it more cropped. And then the sad thing about this was that I just ended up, like the color work ended so early on in this sweater. And I was like, okay, now what I'll do? It was sad, you know, like it finished so quickly, like 2-3 sittings. I finished the yoke and then I ended up with just like plain color. I do get to add some colors again for the cuffs, but that's it. I love how the color turned out. The yarn as well. This is the first time I'm using the Knitting for Olive Heavy Merino. It is a bit drier than the merino base, but my gauge swatch turned out very, it softens up once you block it. So, but the yarn feel is so satisfying. I'm getting the best tension and stitch definition from this, and I'm so happy that I've tried this yarn. So yeah, I can't wait to block it and see how it turns out next time. This is probably what I'll be wearing in my next episode and I cannot wait. Okay, next whip was a very impulsive knit because I wasn't planning to knit this. I had this yarn in stash. It was the Isager Alpaca 2. I was planning to hold this with the Isager Maryland for another project, which I lost interest in and it never happened. So I was like, okay, maybe I can use the yarn separately for 2 different things that I'm excited about. So I had this in stash, but I had an idea of like marling this yarn. And then I had an idea of like, okay, I haven't knit a cardigan for a while now. And if you know me, you know I love cardigans. They're my most favorite pieces to wear and knit. I wanted a squishy cardigan. Like the main feature in my head was squishy. And then I remembered that I do keep seeing people talking about brioche or fisherman's rib as in a very squishy fabric. So I went looking and I came across the Daydreamer Cardigan by Cutest, my favorite designer. She's the one who taught me how to knit through her tutorials. So she's always going to be a very special one for me. So yeah, the Daydreamer Cardigan, this is a very known pattern again from her. And I've seen her actually throughout the process of like knitting this and designing this in her videos. So I always wanted to knit this. So that's the pattern I chose. So I started like swatching with different yarn combos that I had in stash to just see what color do I want to pair that. It's a very purpley burgundy color. It's a very beautiful color. This is color 36 and this is a 50-50 blend of alpaca and wool. 250 meter for a 50 gram wool. It's a light fingering yarn. So these are the colors that I came up. This one was like out from the scratch. I didn't like it at all. And then I had the one that I paired with navy. So the first bit is where I had a navy base with a burgundy mohair, and the second one is where my navy and my mohair are both navy, and that's what I like the most. Is this the right side? No, this is the actual right side. And this is in the fisherman's rib, half fisherman's rib texture. They keep saying that brioche and half fisherman rib they look exactly the same, but they're knit differently. And apparently the fisherman's rib knitting process is easier. So that's what I'm doing. And let me show you what I have. This is like a very weird state, but I'll try my best. This is where I'm at with this. And this is the fabric that I'm getting. I think it's a very lovely color, I think. What do you think? I love the mold effect. This is more like navy, but when you go close, there's a touch of happy red in it, which I love. And I love the half fisherman's texture, guys. It's so satisfying and very squishy. So I'm almost done with the raglan increases. This is a raglan cardigan, by the way. So yeah, I'm done with the raglan increases almost. I think I've got another one to go, and the raglan increases are very different than usual, like make one lefts or rights. This is a different way of doing it, and it's this very thick textured raglan, and it's got a double knit bottom band, folded neckline, balloon sleeves. It's such a beautiful design. I love it, and I'm so happy that the color worked out. So this is also knit up on a 5mm needle, so again a bigger gauge. It's a 12 stitch gauge, so it's a very big gauge, so it's going by very quickly. And let me tell you what yarn I'm using. So that's one, the Alpaca 2, and I also paired it with, this was a new to me yarn. This is BC Yarn Bio Shetland 100% organic wool. It's 50 gram, 200 meters. Again, this is a light fingering weight yarn, and it's this very beautiful rusticy, very toothy, I would say, but I love this sort of texture, you know. So I really wanted to try this, and I'm holding it with the Chaska lace. This is their Suri alpaca base. This is 420 meters per 50 grams. So it's quite generous. I've got 2 balls, hoping that it'll be enough, but I don't think it'll be enough. So I think I need another one. But these are the 3 that I'm holding together, and you might think I'm crazy. Like, why the hell would you hold 3 strands together? But I don't know. It gives me a bit of like excitement when I come to experiment with different yarn bases, combine them, play with the color. I don't know, it's a fun part of knitting for me to try out different things. And it just comes to my mind. I don't know how or why. It's just something that inspires me, and then I try it and I either love it or don't. But this one, I love it. I love how the yarn is working together. I think this is going to be a really cozy cardigan. Again, I'm planning to have this just for my early mornings when it's very cold and you don't feel like wearing a sweater. You just want to cozy up in a cardigan, and I don't have that type of a cardigan, so it was time for me to have one. The knitting experience is really fun. Guys, did you know that you can actually knit a cardigan without having to purl on the wrong side? Half fisherman's rib, you get to knit on the wrong side. Like, what is like more amazing than that? Like, you get to knit a cardigan and own a cardigan without the purl headache, and it creates the most beautiful squishy fabric. So yeah, this one I'm not in a hurry to finish because it's getting a bit warmer here, and I do have so many other sweaters to wear. But I think this will be my last woolly project of this year. I think so, but we never know. Because last year when we hit spring, summer, I was still very early on in knitting. It was my first year, and I was super excited about like knitting with wool and having woolly garments that I didn't really enjoy summer knitting. But this year I think I'm going to give it a try and see how I feel about knitting them and owning them and wearing them as well, because I don't know if I'll enjoy wearing them. But I have a few projects planned for the warmer weather coming, and I've got the yarn for them as well, but I'm not going to show it today because we've already been here for so long. I'm planning to put out another video just to go through my planned projects for the warmer weather and share the yarn that I've bought. I think that's it for this video, guys. And again, thank you so much for all the love and support you guys gave me throughout this whole year on YouTube. Honestly, it wouldn't be nearly as fun if it weren't for you. When I first started this channel, I had no idea what to expect. I was very afraid. I was like, no one's really going to be interested in anything I say here. But surprisingly, many of you enjoyed my videos, and you all kept me company throughout this journey. So grateful, and thank you so much, all your support. And as always, you can find me on Instagram under the the same handle, Honey Wool Wonders. I'm also on Ravelry. Link to everything I talked about, to my socials, they're all going to be in the description of the video. If you've enjoyed hanging out with me today and you would love to let me know, you can give the video a thumbs up. You can also subscribe if you haven't already. Leave me comments, let me know what you think about my knits. I always say this, but the second most part of my videos is when I get to read your comments. It's a different level of fun for me. So let me know what you're knitting on, and if there's anything else you love to share, leave them in the comments, and let's wrap it here. I hope you're having a wonderful day or night, wherever you are. Happy knitting, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.